Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on online sales. With me, I've got Stephen from Netcash that we've partnered with to see how we can get companies to sell online easier. Hi there, Stephen. You are muted.
I am indeed. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, it's my pleasure. So just to give everybody a quick background of where the two companies came together is with FullView being a Bitrix partner, we assist a lot of our customers with setting up their sales funnels and the processes to manage it. And what we've realized is with Bitrix, the online payment portals that you can connect, at the back, it's all dollar-based or linked to the dollar rate. So when you receive a payment, you kind of pay a double commission because you pay your commission with your bank, but because it needs to be converted from dollars into rands again, we thought, no, this is not a good idea. So we approached quite a lot of the online payment portals in South Africa, and Netcash was the best option we found that were actually willing to work with us. So we went onto a journey and we developed this way that you can connect your Bitrix to sell or to allow your customers to pay online through the Netcash portal. And the rest is history. So I must say it's been amazing working with you guys in terms of joining us and seeing our vision of where we are going.
A great partnership, and we are very proud as well.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So so that's from me in terms of an introduction. So how the webinar will run is Stephen and I are gonna alternately present some of the topics, and the main idea of, or the theme of the webinar is from a document I got from Deloitte. Well, I stumbled upon it and I actually contacted them and they gave us permission to use it, about online selling and the trends of it, and some statistics and what the shoppers are looking for. So we're going to look at that as our platform to present the webinar. So can you all see my screen?
I can see, yes.
Right, good. So let's go to our next slide. So these are the main factors mentioned in that document from Deloitte, and I'll send you the link afterwards so you can download the PDF. And it was quite interesting for me to look at these different elements in terms of how it affects a customer's or an online buyer in terms of their behavior. So we're not going to focus on all those items. We are going to skip one or two of them, and then we'll take it from there. I just want to see, I've got some people in the lobby. Right, so to start with, we're going to go to some nice statistics. This was very interesting for me to see how much online sales has grown. So even though it has been growing with COVID, it was just that extra injection because we couldn't go to the stores and businesses had to keep on running. So this is a statistic from RMB in terms of how it's grown, with 150% is the expectation for it to still grow. And if we look at the next slide, you'll see how it's grown from 2020 up to now. And so in the document that I'm sending you, you can read all of the statistics. I don't want to bore you with that now, but it is astonishing in terms of how it's grown. You obviously have your main role players like the Take-A-Lots and all of that, that's grown quite a lot, but also just in terms of businesses starting their own online stores, that has grown tremendously.
Johannika?
Yes.
Do you mind if I interrupt for 3 seconds?
Go for it.
It's all time to talk. I wanted to throw in there, before I joined Netcash in 2020, throughout the lockdown period, I worked for one of our largest retail groups in SA. And the division that I was in charge of was showing between a 300 and 400% growth. And yes, we were coming off a smaller base, But at the end of the financial year, it was close to 300% growth on the previous year. So very exciting.
Sure. Yeah, no, that is, and it's like I said, it's astonishing. That's a nice big word to use for that. So this part is also a quote from that document in terms of how it's grown. So 70% of the respondents they used for this study are shopping online once a month. And even myself, I wasn't big on buying groceries online, but with lockdown, using something like the Checkers, the 60 seconds and Pick and Pay, you almost didn't have another option than to use that. So it's changing our habits and to be comfortable with buying online, because I think that's one of the issues where people get stuck. I don't want to use my credit card details. I don't want to buy online. It's too risky. So from that, Stephen, I'm going to go hand over to you to talk about a bit more about why we sell online.
Perfect. Thank you. These are really my personal thoughts, and on a daily basis, I'm interacting with customers that are wanting to start selling online, or they are busy setting up their online business for the first time, and they're coming to us to help them with their payments, the payment gateway. And what I pick up from conversations is that there's still a stigma that, I don't know if stigma is the right word, but their initial thought is that setting up an online business is expensive. And the initial setup is not as expensive as it used to be. There's so many platforms out there, international and local, that you can use to set up your e-commerce business. And a payment gateway like ours is we've got integrations with all of the leading e-commerce platforms, but the setup of the business is not the expensive part. I think when it comes to your shipping, if you don't get the right shipping partner involved, and obviously your transaction fees, you need to shop around and find out where the transaction fees are best. Shipping, packaging, team members, buying your stock up front, that's where the costs come in. And I think that with a lot of consideration and with sharing knowledge between friends and business networks and whatnot, you can really save costs and get the right strategies in place there. But yeah, I think make sure that you've got the software, the right payment gateway, and the right support to run the business, and it won't be as expensive as some businesses are. Yeah, I think that besides the costs, the benefits of selling online, and again, when I worked at my previous role, the how do we say, we closed 400 stores when we went into lockdown, and the expectation then was that the online store would make up the money of those 400 stores, and it doesn't really work like that. But we fast sat together as a business and really looked at the pros of running an online business, and really after COVID or post COVID carry on investing in e-commerce, because we've seen the power of it. And just by selling online or running digital marketing campaigns and running your e-commerce business, you can target specific clients in specific areas with specific interests on your social media advertising. You can get your product or your offering out to a much wider audience. Also, what's really exciting, I always used to have arguments with our marketing department, because they would talk about, our reach on social media was 60,000. And I say, okay, but how do you measure your reach? What is reach? Someone scrolled right past your ad or your post. So the nice thing about selling online and running paid campaigns is that you can actually measure exactly what your marketing money is doing for you. So your return on ad spend. And then also really important in these times of COVID is contactless payment. So customers don't want to go into the shops and stand in queues and put themselves at risk and touch credit card machines. So contactless payment is really important as well. And then of course there's 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, and the convenience of shopping online. I know that you mentioned 60/60, Checkers 60/60 earlier. I don't think I've been into a grocery store for over a year now, because every week they stop at our house once or twice and drop off the groceries.
Yeah, I've got friends with the same thing. They never go to the stores anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So that, I suppose, comes with the shift. I mean, we've seen lots more people spending online, and it's in the figures. And I think that social media selling, I spend time on social media for work purposes, just identifying gaps in the market or trying to pick up trends. And I've just noticed so many more businesses advertising online with actual shoppable posts and videos on their YouTube channels, paid sponsored posts. So I see a big shift into social selling, and people have been forced into the social selling arena, which is great. And then I think new careers. So one thing that we've noticed with our clients, newer clients coming on board and existing clients, is that they might have been in one role, and by going into lockdown in March or April 2020, they kind of sat back and took stock and ended up moving into a completely different industry. Or so many of my friends and business networkers have started side hustles. So, they're following their passion and doing their pot plants from ceramics and selling that on the side. So yeah, there's just a big shift to online social selling and actual careers.
Yeah, keep on plowing. You need to do something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a friend that he's a musician and he couldn't do gigs anymore. So he started selling music equipment. And if he could sell that online, it would be so much more brilliant. Although I don't know if I would buy a guitar if I can't play it first. But yeah, no, you need to make a plan, and online's just the way to go, because you can't put up a shop in Ferndale or whatever. It's too expensive, and you don't have the people coming to the store.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where if you don't, that's my personal opinion, if you don't get on board, if you don't get going, you're going to stay behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that.
It's just where it's going. So yeah, so I think this links to what the next slide is, your Netcashpreneurs, of people just starting a new business and taking it online.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was one of the things that we also sat back in COVID and we tried to research and understand how we could help businesses. So we came up with the concept of Netcashpreneurs, which is how we as a business support entrepreneurs in South Africa that are starting businesses. So we've decided to, there's a submission form on our website where you can actually apply to become a Netcashpreneur. And with that, you get a bunch of benefits from Netcash. That's obviously promotional activity on our social media platforms, in our newsletters. We give you a scan to pay starter kit, which is the contactless payment with a QR code. And the most exciting part of it all is that we'll actually load your Netcash account with 3,000 Rands credit, which you can offset against your transaction fees. So it's just a really nice way for young entrepreneurs, or old entrepreneurs, or in between entrepreneurs, any entrepreneurs, to step in and save those little costs that really add up, and for us to actually promote them and see how we can help and try to get the word out there.
Yeah, we've got a very strong belief here at FullView in terms of small businesses. And I'm not just talking about a one man, or it's up to, because we consider ourselves as a small business, although we're growing, that's how we're going to support each other and the community. Because there's just too much red tape, and I don't know if politics is the right word in terms of being in the big market, because there's certain rules and all of that. So yeah, we need to support each other to keep the economy going and to keep people having food on their tables.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the next one is also your slide.
Yes, I wanted to just give you a quick overview of Netcash. So besides the payment gateway, we specialize in running transactions and processing payments. And we've got an ecosystem of debit orders, salary payments, risk reports, and then of course our ECommerce Gateway. And that's what I really want to talk about today, which is on the next slide, is the ECommerce Gateway. So our ECommerce Gateway is a service that we call Pay Now. It's Pay Now Solutions. And not only does it have the e-commerce functionality, we've also got a couple of other exciting tools like billing and payment requests, where you can actually send a payment request via SMS or email, and the customer can click on that link and it will actually open up our ECommerce Gateway for them to transact. So it's really nice and secure and really convenient. And in terms of our costs, we really think that our costs are competitive. We're also always up for negotiation depending on transactional volumes, and we've got a very inexpensive module fee of 50 Rand a month, and then transaction fees as you would have with any gateway, with obviously competitive pricing.
Yeah, and you need to put the asterisk there that if you join through FullView until September 2022, you won't pay that monthly fee. So
Absolutely.
It's an added bonus with our partnership.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. And then on the next slide, I've really just broken down the different payment options available on the payment gateway. And we've really got a couple of unique selling points. So one of them is our QR code. Instead of having a unique QR code for each QR wallet, and we'll use Zapper and FNB and your Capitec banking app, where you can actually use our QR code with Zapper, Spot, and any of the banking apps, RMB. So it's one QR code for your business, and it's completely compatible with all of the QR wallets. So that's one of our unique selling points. And the other one that I also absolutely love, and it's really got it's relevant to specific businesses only. But you mentioned earlier, what trust and security when shopping online. So we've also got something called Retail Pay, and customers can select Retail Pay on the gateway, and they can print out, email or SMS a barcode to themselves and pop down to Checkers or ShopRite, scan the payment and do their payment in cash. Also, we've had clients setting up online businesses and using our gateway and saying that they don't have, there was actually one client selling school clothing and school books and whatnot, stationery for the new year. And they said that some of their clients don't have credit cards. And we said, well, absolutely, here's Retail Pay. They can do the payment, take their barcode down, scan it, and make the payment in cash.
Well, that's amazing. If I think about this friend that I mentioned selling the music equipment, you could do something like that. And that QR code, because it's universal, so no matter, because I know sometimes I need to pay somewhere, then it's SnapScan. Oh shucks, I've got Zapper on my phone or whatever. So that you've got that universal thing to use. That's brilliant. So could I even maybe send someone the code on WhatsApp and say, this is the code? Oh, you won't be able to scan a WhatsApp with your phone, but yeah, that principle.
You could photograph it on the computer screen and send it to them on WhatsApp, and it would work.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Exactly.
You either do that, or they go to someone else where they can have the online payment.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a case of, and what we really wanted to discuss is the benefits of selling online, and we've got multiple payment methods. So there's no reason why you might not want to do an instant EFT online because you don't trust the system. We hear that sometimes. You might not want to enter your credit card details because you're worried about fraud. Well, then you don't have to. You can use the QR code, or you can use the Retail Pay.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no excuse.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, to get your online store going, there's so many options. You just get going and wait.
Exactly. So I wanted to chat about abandoned carts as well. Statistics are always skewed because everyone has their own opinion, and it really does differ from business to business. But if I look at generalization and I look online and look at statistics and research and read articles, you kind of see that 50 to 70% of customers abandon their cart at checkout. And again, it would be completely skewed if you were running a promotion versus no promotion, but the statistics say 50 to 70% abandon cart at checkout. There could be shoppers that are just browsing. There could be shoppers that are really there to compare prices. So those factors play a role as well. But very importantly, if your checkout process is not slick, if you don't have a trusted payment gateway or trusted business partners and the logos displayed, 3D secure, secure by MasterCard, if you don't have those or that element of trust on your site, definitely customers are going to abandon their carts, and you're losing customers. They're not coming back to you because they've been freaked out or nervous at checkout.
Yeah, so that's one of the icons on that process of Deloitte is your checkout process. Absolutely. And trust is also another one.
Yeah, they want that streamlined checkout process. You don't want to make it difficult for the customer to check out because they lose interest very fast, and rightfully so. I do as well. And you want to give them multiple options, and you want to make them feel really secure and trusted that they can check out without losing 100,000 Rand because someone swipes it out of their account.
Yeah, and one of our clients, they're also specifically focusing on that abandoned cart because it's an opportunity to contact those customers. But if I think from a consumer's perspective, I know what we do with our kids. They can go to Take-A-Lot and we can add their wish list, and depending on how much they've saved, then they can get what's in the basket. So there's different reasons why people have baskets full of things and leaving, and we'll never know the reasons, but you need to know it's there and take advantage of it.
Absolutely, and make sure that you are crossing all of your T's and dotting all of your I's to make sure that you've made it really simple and safe for the customer.
Yeah. Then another item on that infographic is customer service, and linked to that, I want to mention communication. So I don't know about you, but I don't like bots. If I go onto a website and I type my question and it's saying, please rephrase your question, it's like, okay, I want to speak to a human. And that's where, if you look at the screen that you have now, it's some of the Bitrix, what we call open channels. So your customer, if you look at, this is a screenshot of our website. So if you see those icons bottom right. So if you're on our website, or whether you're going to be on an online store, you can use those buttons and chat with your customer. They can contact you, whether it's with a form or with a WhatsApp or online chat, because I need to ask questions. I was busy talking to or having a conversation with a ticketing system that we investigating, and I could ask questions there. And with another platform, it was a bot, and it's like, okay, I don't know what else to ask because you're not getting my question. Yes. Because we're not going into the store, because you don't have that interaction to say, oh, what do you have for this? Oh, okay, can I have a blue of this, and can I have a pink of that, or whatever? You need to have those communication channels for your customer, for them to talk to you.
Yes, I've had experience recently where we've had a few phone calls from businesses wanting to meet with us to discuss setting up a chatbot for our business and running, automating our systems and whatnot. And I, after thinking about it and chatting to some of our medical aids chatbots and some of our food delivery service chatbots, I stopped complaining because it's too difficult to do it. But after going through those processes, you realize that, first of all, the information that you put out to your customer is as good as the information you put in. So if you're not doing the proper customer research and really speaking to the customers to find out what the queries are, you can't give them the right information to help them with the chatbot. So I'm on your side there.
Yeah, and I know bots, so this is now a bit off topic, but I know it's got its place with another one of our customers. It's just to filter, to get you into the right direction, to say, are you going left or right? So it does help you to have that filtering or whatever, qualifying process. So it's not all bad, but I personally don't like it all the way through. I want to speak to someone. Yeah.
We want number 9 to be, would you like to speak to someone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, then one of the issues or the concerns that we mentioned earlier on is the security part. Okay, so I mean, we've done an online purchase for something for computer screens in the office, and it was just not arriving, and you don't know, okay, was this now a safe purchase, or did I do the right thing? And with you getting to, well, you hear in the news and from your friends, people that had a card that was cloned or hacked or whatever you call it. So you can't just click pay credit card details. Some people do, and go for it. And then I don't know if I'm still going to have money in my bank account tomorrow. And I think that's where we were also comfortable in partnering with you guys, because you are, I don't know if accredited is the right word, and because you are connected to so many of the payment systems like the Zapper and SnapScan or whatever, does tell you something about the authenticity of your business.
Absolutely, yeah.
So in terms of your compliance, maybe although I've already sold you as secure, maybe you can just give us a bit of detail on how safe my credit card details will be when I pay with Netcash.
No, absolutely. So I think most importantly is that we level 1 PCI compliant, which is the highest level of security in the industry, and it's pretty much what we have to be as well and what we want to be. And then, you know, everything, we've got the 3D secure for your credit cards. We MasterCard secure code verified by Visa. We don't store any credit card details of any of our clients. Everything is encrypted and managed through Paygate. And, you know, they're just, we've had a really good run. Everything is very secure. We feel very comfortable, and so do our clients. I think that's what makes us very happy. And a quick statistic on e-commerce, which I maybe should have mentioned earlier while we were chatting about the growth and whatnot.
Go for it.
Is that us as a business, you know, coming off quite a coming off high volumes, we still saw a 24% growth in our transactions over the past year. So from October 2020 to October 2021. And wow. We are also really proud of that, because our gateway is being trusted in South Africa and clients are recognizing us, and we've got fantastic clients and business partners like yourselves. And yeah, we're just really happy and proud of everything that's happening in the business at the moment.
Yeah, and partnering is also, I think, part of the way to go. Is some things will maybe overlap and some things may be different, but that's where we need to get the best of both worlds and see where we can help each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so exciting times. I think we'll do this again and talk about some other features of the online purchases and things like when we just started with you guys in terms of debit orders for repeat payments. So you don't have to hassle your customers for payments that they maybe forget about. So there's so much more, or subscription renewals, or there's just a lot more that we could talk about it, but we'll leave it for another session so we can all have our morning coffee and get back to the hustle. There's I want to close off with this last slide from that Deloitte's presentation, and I'm actually going to read it. I don't like people, but I'm going to read it. Every company considering digital commerce is challenged with figuring out how to combine an offering that addresses customers' needs, data, operations, and tech platforms into compelling user experiences that supports their business strategy. And I want to go back to what you said about starting your business. So to start a business, if it's not or if you don't think about all the admin in terms of getting it registered and all that, it can be simple and you can just start and you can get going. But sometimes it's good just to take a pause and get those building blocks, that platform and the operations that they mention over there, to get that in place. And as FullView, not only as a Bitrix partner, but as a business, we all start as small businesses. We're very passionate, so before we start implementing a system with a business, we want to understand your business. What's your building blocks? And based on that, and I'm sure you would do the same thing, is you don't offer them the first payment portal you have. Listen to the customer, check the needs and have the building blocks there. And if it's not there, we like to help customers get the blocks in place, because I can't implement my system into your business if it's not planned properly. And we all evolve every day, and we change, and we improve what we're doing. So that's my story in terms of the online selling, and I'm passionate about it. In the beginning, like I said, now with the checker 60 seconds buying on that, I wasn't so big on buying it, but that's where we are going. And yes, we're excited about our partnership with you.
Yeah, and us. And just to add to what you said about small businesses starting up, you and I have our specialties and we know our industries. but clients coming in have got their own specialties, and they might be absolutely, the payments industry or your industry may be very foreign to them. And I find that spending a bit of time with the client, and as you said, on a personal level, don't pop them an email and say, there you go, you're on your own. Spend a bit of time with them. And like you said, find out more about their business and see how you can guide them and help them. And even if you're referring them to other businesses or we're referring them to business partners, that's the way we need to do it, because it's going to be beneficial for everyone with word of mouth, in fact, and just having really great clients that support you and you have a great relationship. It's really, that's where we want to be.
You know, there's a saying that someone's very good, they can sell ice to an Eskimo.
Yes.
I don't like that, because an Eskimo doesn't need ice.
Exactly. It doesn't need ice at all.
Yeah, so I know if I'm very smooth, I can sell it. But right, so that's sales talk. So thanks very much for your time, and I think it's valuable information that we share. And if you have questions about the webinar, so I will post it on YouTube, and please pop your questions in the comments and we can have a chat and see where we can get you going.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having us on your webinar.
Yes, thanks very much. Thanks everyone. Have a great day.